Hi, my son and I are going to make some skateboards, and what we're going to use are these pre-bent blanks, and these can be purchased online. I'll give you a direction down below in the information area of this video where you can purchase these. They're not inexpensive. These with shipping come to about $30. But it's really fun to make these, and you can make them any shape you would like, and you can put graphics on them any way you want. So this is what you get. It's a nice maple, at least on the outside, board, pre-bent, pre-drilled, ready to go. So let's get started on this and see what we can do. Well, the first problem you run into is where you're going to get a pattern from. And I'll give you several suggestions here. You have your blank board. It's pre-drilled. Number one, you can just grab a skateboard from a friend and slap it down on here and trace around it. The second thing you can do if you have a relationship with a skateboard shop is take your blank into the shop and ask them if it would be okay if you laid one of their skateboards on here and traced around it, and many times they will let you do that. Another possibility is design your own, and if you wanted to design your own, a suggestion would be to get some parchment paper. That's what you use to cook cookies on, and lay it out. Make a rough tracing on the outside, the shape you think you might like, fold it in half, and then when you cut it, you know you're going to get perfect symmetry because you've cut it in half. Now that's what my son did here. You can see here's the pattern. Another thing you can do, and this is what he did, is you can go online and you can find a pattern. In his case, it was an old school pattern, and he really couldn't buy the board, so what he did is he downloaded a picture of it and he blew it up as big as he could, and he mathematically stretched it out from the holes. So he just took the holes and used those as anchor points and stretched out the pattern and basically got this. Now, another way to blow a pattern up like this is if you visit a school, you might be able to get a teacher to just project a small image of your pattern up on the wall, and you could take something like a piece of butcher paper and trace that exact pattern on the paper and get it to the distance where you'll get the 30 inches or so you need for your skateboard. So any one of those are a possibility. You can sketch your own, you can copy a friend's, you can go to a skateboard shop, or you can download an image, and any of those will work for the pattern that you're going to do. Now there's two different ways that I know of that you can make this skateboard, and one is bare minimum, and that's what I have here before you. And this film that you're watching, I pull out all the stops. I'm using a bandsaw, a belt disc sander, I'm using a drum sander, everything that you probably wouldn't have in your shop. But the bare minimum, you need a jigsaw. This is a really nice DeWalt. You can use a cheapy plug-in. It'll still do the same basic job. I would suggest you get some of these. These are Diablo, but you can get any kind. The wider the blade, the less it's going to wiggle around. If you're really good with a jigsaw, I can get away with using these, but I would recommend something like 20 teeth per inch. 20 TPI. That'll give you a clean cut on the top and the bottom with not a lot of breakout. So get some of those blades. You're going to need a 4-in-1 file. These are 4 different file surfaces on one tool, and at least 3 grits of sandpaper. You can see here I've marked with a pencil 100 grit, 150 grit, and 220. Remembering the grits stand for the number of stones in a given area. So the smaller number is the bigger stone. You can see here I put some sandpaper. This is 120 paper just on a piece of wood, and you can run it down the side and you can do some wonderful work with this. With these things right here, you can make a beautiful skateboard. You don't need any power machines. The power machines just make the job faster and easier. Now, when you use these, I would recommend you put your pattern on the back side so you can just follow the line and you can go down instead of getting trapped on the other side in a bend. So you would just anchor it down any way you can, and after you've anchored it, cut half of your pattern, flip it around, and cut the other half, and then you can begin working on the sides with coarser paper first, going to finer and finer paper, and you're going to have some fun and come up with a great board. The other way I'm going to be demonstrating now with my son is using a bandsaw and some machines. Here we go. What do you think of that?
That's pretty good.
See, if you close your eyes and rub the line, you feel a little bumpy,
Yeah,
but you can smooth all that out.
that's fine.
What are we going to do next?
Nose.
Nose? So listen, I'm going to be out here. You pinch it here, put one hand here, and I'll be out here just keeping it flat.
Okay. Woo! All right. Nice. Okay.
All right. Sweet.